Hey everybody, this is Alex Merced, Vice Chair of the Libertarian National Committee, and I've been working on a cool free tool for campaigns that need it. Now, if you're a campaign, one of the most important things that you need is data. You need to be able to keep track of not just who your voters are, but who your donors are, who your staff are, what your events are, everything about your campaign. That's essentially what you do with a CRM, a Customer Relationship Manager. There are several CRMs out there. And the Libertarian National Committee has invested in creating sort of its own sort of internal CRM that is currently being rolled out to many of the states out there. And so your state may already have access to it, although you may still want something that's more specific to at your campaign level that you can use between your staff and team as a lot of the features roll out, or whether your state doesn't have access to the national CRM, or whether you don't have the funds to pay for something like a nation builder or whatnot. Okay, I'm all about trying to find those awesome budget solutions. So what I did here is a very awesome platform called Airtable, which allows you to create sort of online databases, which has an iPhone app, which makes it easy for you and your team to be able to use and share a database, enter information, etc. What I did is I created a template for sort of a campaign CRM that makes it easy for you, especially for really local campaigns, that keep track of the data you need and have access to it as you need it. So if you want, I can make a copy of this database for you and give you control over it. You can edit it however you want to customize it to your campaign. But let me just give you a tour of the basic core template that I made. So essentially you have several tables here. So when you're on Airtable, you have all these tables here that I've made. The first one is precinct. So basically, depending on if it's a local city council race or something larger, there may be several precincts that are within your base. So what you can do is you can actually enter them in here in this table, their precinct numbers, precinct information. You can choose from your team. So basically, everyone who's on your team would be in this table. So I've entered several sort of fake team members. So here's Susie, who's the campaign manager, Bob, who's a volunteer, John, who's the comms director, and Eileen, who's a donor. Okay, so this way people, because oftentimes donors are also volunteers and volunteers are also donors, people wear many hats, so I figured to make this one table. Okay, but everything plays off this table. So if I go to the precinct info and I want to assign someone to be the precinct captain, I'll just hit here plus and list everybody who's in my sort of that staff volunteer table. So that way it's easier for me to keep track of what they're doing. And if I go to, so basically when I'm in that volunteer staff donor, if I'm using that aspect of it, I can keep track of what each person is doing. So I can go to, so let's say I assign Susie to be the precinct captain. So she's not only the campaign manager, but she's also the precinct captain for precinct number 1. So there, I've just assigned her the precinct captain number 1. Now when I go to her table here, I can go down, there's a lot of different things here, but I can see she's a precinct captain for precinct number 1 over here. It automatically updates. And on top of that, you know what? I'm going to assign Susie to be our contact with media outlet A. So I'm going to assign her to be the relationship manager, the person who sort of reaches out to that media outlet, whatnot. So I can assign her to do that as well. There she is. And all this stuff I'll be able to see listed under her here. Okay, and I don't have to look at it in this table view. If I wanted to make it easier for myself, Airtable has several different ways you can view the information. I can view it in a form, I can view it in a gallery, I can view it in a calendar, a Kanban, so I can go like this. Actually, I'm not even playing with that right now, but I can do it as a gallery. So here I can see, here's Bob, Susie, and I can kind of see what they're doing. So if I click on Susie, I can see all the information about Susie. I can go to show me the 18 hidden fields. Scroll down. Oh, see him. There we are. So I can see here she is captain for precinct number 1. She is the media relationship manager for media outlet A. So I can keep track of who's doing what very easily and who's been assigned to what. So here I can list all my media outlets, who is our contact person at that media outlet, what their contact information is, who on our team is sort of assigned to kind of build that relationship, what events we've invited to. So we have a table for events. So we create an event. I can put what date the event is, what the location is. I can assign which volunteers have volunteered to staff the event. Okay, which voters we've invited to the event, and what media we've invited to the event. So we do have, so again, not only do you have a tab where we can enter in all our media. We also have one where we can enter in all our voters and their contact info. We have all their information. We can assign them to what precinct they're into, so that way I know which precinct captain should be the one sort of reaching out to these voters. And on top of that, I created fields for up to 3 contacts, because that's sort of what I've been hearing a lot on the campaign trail. Listen to people like Apollo Pizzell and Kara Schultz. You know, the magic numbers, you really want to contact everyone 3 times. So what I did here is that you can see there's entry fields for 3 contacts. Contact number 1, so you can sit there and say, what kind of contact is it? Did you contact them by phone? Was it a door knock? Was it an email? What date did you contact them? Who was the staff member who contacted them? So from your list of team members, you can assign them there, so that way we know who contacted who when, and then any notes we want on that contact. And you can do that 3 times, and again, you can add more if your campaign gets to that point. So you have all this information that you can easily connect, and they are interrelated, so that way, again, as you start filling all this stuff in, I can quickly see, okay, which volunteers are talking to what media outlets, are the captains for what precincts. Same thing for donations. There's a tab for donations, so you can keep track of your donations there as well. So that way you know what the amount of donation is, the date of donation, who the donor is, who is the person that solicited the donation, and any notes on that donation. So that way, again, it's just all the information you would need, so that way people can quickly kind of see, okay, who should I talk to, who's in charge of this, what's going on, who should be talking to who, because we can quickly assign volunteer, staff, donors to all that. And then here, this is a tab for people to just enter in miscellaneous notes. So basically, you just put in the name of the note, type in the details of the note, and you can attach any files that you need to attach there. So I can easily just make a copy of this for you. Just get in touch. But I figured this would be a cool thing for some, especially if you're running a really hyper-local campaign, where probably entering a lot of this information is going to be a lot more doable. And where basically your budgetary needs may need you to enter and collect most of that information more manually among your team. So if you would like me to implement a copy of this database, this template, just do reach out. Hopefully this helps somebody out, or at least gives people ideas of the kind of tools that are out there. Airtable is a great tool for keeping track of data, keeping track of teams. This is just one possible implementation of it. Again, this is Alex Merced, Vice Chair of the Libertarian National Committee, always trying to find ways to get people thinking about new ways to work together, to work better, so that we can make the world more free in our lifetime. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great day and enjoy.